Good morning. It is now almost spring. The snow is melting and it's cold this morning, but it's gonna start getting above freezing pretty consistently for several days. I'm here at the farm. I'm currently eating a Pop-Tart and watching our dog Rupert because he likes to wait until you're not looking at him and then he scuttles off to the neighbor's house. So that's the escape artist. And not really an escape artist, just a wait till your back is turned to betray you kind of artist. So my goal this week is to go back to the woods and hopefully make some maple syrup. We have a lot of maple trees back in our woods. When I was a little kid, we actually had like a huge evaporator and we made maple syrup in very large quantities and sold it all over. But we sold all that equipment and now we just will make maybe a batch or so every spring. I'm gonna go back to the woods. We have cinder blocks set up to make like a little fire stove situation right back in the woods so we don't have to carry the sap back this way. Today's goal is hopefully to tap some trees and rebuild the stove later this week. It's going to be in the high 40s, I think, for several days in a row. Rupert is finally doing his business. Sorry, I got distracted. So yeah, we'll go back and we'll actually make the cider, or not the cider, I keep wanting to say cider, the syrup later this week, but that is the plan. And now I have to chase Rupert because he's running away from me. So, until later. Alright, welcome to the woods. So we do have a little section of woods on the farm property. So this is our stove setup. It kind of got broken apart, so my first step is going to be to clean this up a little bit, replace some of the broken blocks, and then the only other thing I can do today is I'm going to tap some trees and gather some firewood so that later this week, Wednesday, I can start boiling some sap. So, yeah. So I am by no means an expert on this. I usually leave the syrup making to my brothers or my dad because I just don't like maple syrup that much. But I wanted to try it this year and I wanted to film it for you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of learn as I go, and I'm just gonna do a small batch. We'll see, maybe if it's really fun I'll do more, but yeah. I won't be able to put the chimney up today because the base blocks need to come in just a hair more so that it's supporting the chimney on each side. But the base blocks are still very much frozen into the ground, so I'll have to wait until the day I go to burn. Hopefully they'll be thawed enough that I can do a little more adjusting. So I'm going to set these down and I'll worry about that on another day. I'm going to keep cleaning up the area though, move some of the broken blocks out of the way, then we'll start gathering our wood pile. Just taking a little break for a minute. This is a really, really nice day. The sun is out. There's literally not a cloud in the sky. It's not windy, so it doesn't feel very cold. Just peaceful and quiet. So the next step, we gotta tap some trees. We want to tap the south side so that there's as much sun as possible during the day, warming up this side of the tree so the sap runs better. So we're gonna tap a hole with a drill, and then we'll put a spile in there. That'll let the sap drip out into the bucket. So we're gonna do that first. Oh, sap's already coming. So I just drilled this hole. I went kind of up at an angle, and as you can see, the sap is already, or maybe you can't tell, but it is wet in there, so that is a good sign. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. And hopefully we can get a drip. So this is with the spile in, but I'm a little worried the drill bit might have been a hair too big, because I'm not getting anything out of the end of the spile, but it's hard to see because it's in the shade. But there is, or there was, some sap pooling from around the outside and dripping down. Yeah, see, this is all wet, dripping down from around the edges. So this isn't quite the right fit. I'll have to probably go back to the house and get a different sized drill bit so that that fits in more securely, because I'm not getting anything out of the end of the pipe itself, but I'm getting plenty of sap coming out though. So I'll have to try this again. All right, For now, I am gonna still put this in here and hang a bucket just in case it does start to come out of this. It won't waste any more than it already is. I'm gonna try one more just to see, but I think the drill bit is too big. I don't think this one's gonna work either, so I will definitely have to get a different drill bit and either come back. Yeah, I'll have to come back today because I'm hoping that I can start boiling in 2 days when I'm back again at the farm. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, I'm back with a smaller drill bit, and we're gonna try and see if this will work a little bit better. And if it does, I will finish tapping the rest of the trees. It's starting to drip, but I'm gonna move this nail down. I used an old one, but it's too high up. Ooh, got a good drip. Try that. That's better. Yeah, there we go. It's pretty slow because this is still a pretty cold day. It's barely over freezing, but tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 40s. I think the high 40s. So it should do a lot better tomorrow. So. I decided to just stick with 6 buckets for now. I'm just doing a small batch, and that should be enough to get me, I don't know, a pint or something. So I will be back in 2 days. Okay, we came back here this morning to take a look at the stove situation and discovered we needed a few more blocks. This thing's been used for years, and with enough heat, the blocks eventually do split, which is why we have a pile of broken blocks back here, because we've had to fix this thing before. I'm back here with my nephew now, and we brought more blocks back with us. We're gonna rebuild the stove, then check and see if we have enough sap ready to actually burn. As long as we have enough for a small batch, we'll make some syrup. So this is our stove setup. entirely made of concrete blocks. We have 3 on each side and 1 in the back. This one right here is in line with the base. So the one on the bottom, though, we've broken the front out so that the smoke can get into the 2 spaces, and then they will come up, the smoke will come up through here. 3 blocks for the chimney, 3 on each side for the base, and then a split block. So it was hard to show, but basically if you took one of these blocks here and broke out these 2 walls, you'd be left with kind of an E-shaped block. That's what's back here, so the smoke hits the back and then will come up. We have 3 steel plates that we put on top, and we're going to build our fire right here between the 2 walls. We'll cover it with the steel plates. We leave the front open here, and we'll be able to feed the fire that way. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Excellent job. So we're going to check and see how much sap we've accumulated. Oh, this one's dripping really good. And there's a lot. Oh, there's a lot there. So we've got the fire started. The goal is to keep the fire hot. So we're actually going to be using smaller pieces so that they burn quicker and burn hotter. So we're going to be feeding this thing constantly, but that's the goal. But it's looking pretty good. The smoke's doing what it's supposed to do, and the fire's doing what it's supposed to do. So far so good. Get it, Angus. So we've set up a second pan. We have a little one that's just the size for the chimney. We raised up the chimney so that smoke can still come out the sides. But there's so much heat that's coming up from the chimney, we decided to use it to make a little mini boiling pan. Alright, so we're getting near the end of the day. We combined our two pans. We got rid of the big pan and poured it into the little pan. So we're going to let this get back to boiling for another half hour, and then we'll take whatever is left home and finish boiling it down at home, and hopefully we have a couple cups of syrup for our day and a half of labor. So we did end up moving the pan down. With the big pan out of the way, we were able to scoop all the coals into one spot. And now we've got a beautiful boil going. Alright, so it is, the sun is starting to go down and it's getting colder and we're getting sick of this. And also we're very hungry and didn't bring food back here with us. So I'm going to pour what's left of our sap, which is getting thicker and is getting browner and is getting sweeter. And we're going to take it home in this pot and we'll finish boiling it down on the stove and hopefully end up with a couple cups of syrup. And our plan is to put that on our pancakes tomorrow morning. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to try not to burn myself, but here we go. Beautiful. So after about 4 or 5 gallons of sap, we didn't do very much. We're down to this much in this pan. A very tedious task for not very much output. Okay, so I am in my own house and I am very close to finishing up my tiny little bit of syrup on the stove. I'm waiting for it to get to 219 degrees and we're just like this far away. And then I will hopefully be able to bottle it up and have a little bit for myself and a little bit to give a friend. And yeah, but we're super close and I think I did it successfully, hopefully. This is where we're at. We're at 217 degrees. Just needs to go a little bit more. And Roy is very excited about it.